Welcome to the Reddit gang. We post the best content of Reddit every day. So make sure to subscribe and activate the notification bell. Also check out the meme gang on Facebook and Instagram for the finest memes. Enjoy the video. People on Reddit answer, what is the dumbest way you got laid? Left the oven on from dinner before going on a date to see a film. Paranoid about the house burning down while at the cinema on a date. Whisper to her about these concerns so we leave. We get home and I rush in and turn off the oven. Date says wait, you actually left it on? Then we had sex. Made a friend some jam tarts, which impressed her housemate enough to pursue me. I'm not much of a looker, and she was incredible. Don't know why it all happened, I'd even burned the tarts. Woke up to a commotion outside my room the morning after a night out. It was my flatmate with some girl he'd brought home. He was out separately, and her friend just chatting. I got up all groggy, went to the bathroom, and when I came back this girl's friend just followed me back into bed, and that was that. Later I found out that she assumed she had come back with me originally, but just woke up on the sofa for some reason. I guess she just decided to resume from where she thought we had been. Definitely the least amount of effort I've ever had to put into getting laid. Was a virgin at the time. Had some people over playing Cards Against Humanity. It's not a serious game even when you're playing it, so sometimes we would show people the card we drew as a replacement if it was like, perfect for the hand we had just played. I don't remember what the black card we were playing to was anymore, but I drew the Friends with Benefits white card and it would have been perfect for it. So I leaned over and showed my friend sitting next to me. Later everyone left and she stayed behind and we were talking and she assumed I meant it as a request. I hadn't even thought of that but rolled with it. I was taking care of a professor's kitten, Mr. Milk, and another student was as well. There was a schedule. Somehow we got crossed up and ended up there at the same time, and a night later we were banging. Met this girl once and about 3 months later I saw her again and she got really excited to see me. We were talking for a little bit and out of nowhere bet me that I didn't remember her name. Well I did and she was instantly turned on by that. Basically dragged me to her house by my belt buckle. Took a bet in a pub in Toronto, went to a girl and whispered to her ear I can speak French between your legs, was ready and waiting for the physical comeback to hit my face. Instead she spilled all of her drink through her nose and we ended up at her place. We were watching Rocky Horror Picture Show and he asked if I asked politely, will you have sex with me? I was planning to anyway but the way he asked made me laugh. Straight up asked a girl by the end of a party if she wanted to bang, just like that. So, wanna bang? She said no. Then I asked her if she had better plans for the night, which landed me fair enough, and boom, laid. I'm not that hot, just a fit 4/6, oddly 7 to 8 to gay dudes. I asked politely to lose my virginity back in the day, so that might be a bit of a dumb way to go about it. No gimmicks, just would you mind if I lost my V card to you? It'd be nice if my first time was with someone I knew and trusted. No awkwardness after, just a one-off so I can learn. Met a girl on Tinder and we decided to bake cookies together at 1 AM after I left work. As soon as the cookies were done she looked over at me and asked if I wanted to go fuck. Had a girl grab me by the dick, tell me she wanted it right now, then after an embarrassingly short duration of her tornado hipping me to ejaculation, she put her panties on and started crying saying Jesus wouldn't love her because of what she'd done. No, she wasn't a virgin. So I apologized completely confused and made the resolution of that never happening again. 6 years later she saw one of my friends and casually said that I raped her after asking how I was doing. I hooked up with a co-worker at a rave and had sex with her in the backseat of a Honda Civic in Austin. She cried for an hour after that because her father abused her. I did not know that. The next day at work she was totally fine. In college, I met a girl at a party and we hit it off. We started hanging out and she told me she liked making sweets and her favorite was rock candy. Eventually I got the I don't know if I want to I went to use a public phone box, yes, I am that old, and there was a lady who came up to it just behind me. I actually didn't want to make the call, so I said that she could go first. After her call she waited outside the phone booth, and when I was done she said that she was so touched by my chivalrous actions that she wanted to buy me a drink. We jumped in her car and she took me straight to her place and we had sex. It was pretty awesome, gettable drunk sex. At a party, very drunk. I stumble up to a friend talking to several people I don't recognize. I say hey and just sort of nod along to the conversation. Random girl in the group says something like it's not a party till people start making out, so I drunkenly ask why we aren't making out, which I cringe at now. She asks if I'm serious, I say yeah, we make out for maybe 5 seconds, and conversation resumes. I keep bumping into her throughout the night, we keep making out longer and harder, eventually we go back to her car to screw. As a disclaimer, I'm really not that hot. I just didn't give a fuck. At a party when a really cute Asian girl ran up to me holding her hair awkwardly and asking me where the bathroom was, I told her and she grabbed my hand and pulled me down the hall with her. In the bathroom she said she needed help washing the ketchup out of her hair. She let go of her hair and in her hand was a couple of ketchup packets. Then she says, "Okay, let's take a shower." Who am I to argue? To this day, I have no idea what her name was. I went to use a public phone box, yes, I am that old, and there was a lady who came up to it just behind me. I actually didn't want her to make the call, so I said that she could go first. After her call she waited outside the phone booth, and when I was done she said that she was so touched by my chivalrous actions that she wanted to buy me a drink. We jumped in her car and she took me straight to her place and we had sex. It was pretty awesome. When I was 18 I was at a costume party after being dumped by a guy earlier that day. A few drinks later and after venting to my best friend, I got up, stood in the yard and said I just wanted to fuck someone who doesn't care about me. Guy standing near me in a cow costume turned his head, said let's go and led me into the house and upstairs. Played spin the bottle with 3 other friends. 2 friends were given some kind of lame dare to kiss each other but were embarrassed to kiss in front of me and my female friend. So female friend says let us go out the room so they can kiss, won't take a second. I leave the room with her so my other friends can kiss in private, which I thought was weird. She closes the door, proceeds to start passionately kissing me, and before I know it we had sex up the wall of my bathroom. She was pretty much a 10/10 and I am not. Couldn't believe my luck. Accidentally ended up on a Valentine's date last year. Was just looking for people to go to karaoke with. She asked what I was doing on Thursday, day last year. I said karaoke and asked if she wanted to go. She said sure if we could get dinner first. Realized a day later I'd just agreed to a proper date, so booked a fancy restaurant. She wanted to get shots afterwards. I was like cool, karaoke bar is a few blocks away, but she insisted on some bar in the party district. Shots do nothing to me, but she got terpsed up and started macking me, then told me to invite her back to her place. I did, but part of me was like, but we haven't even gone to karaoke. Some 20 years ago I was at the university. At a party I got into a conversation with a girl about the latest book in Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time series. Far from being a turnoff and showing what a massive geek I am/was, that girl actually loved the Wheel of Time and other fantasy novels. One thing led to another and we ended up doing the naked conga at my place. Never thought my love for fantasy novels would get me laid. Had an affair with my mental health social worker. She was a terrific lay, but it all ended very badly. Which I knew it would. It shouldn't have happened, but it did. I have a male social worker looking after me now, so I guess I won't have that problem again. Was waiting for my female friend to finish a phone conversation, and got bored enough to wash the small mountain of dishes in her sink. Never forget the look on her face. FWB for a few ecstatic weeks after that before we realized I was falling for her. Ended it. We would never have worked out as a couple, but wow, best sex experiences ever. So yeah, wash them dishes. Was a virgin and on my 19th birthday 2 girls, I knew one but not the other, sat down on my bed in my room during a pre-game event and basically said, which of us do you want to have sex with, and I replied with a tentative both. And they looked at each other and just rolled with it. Still amazed that worked to this day and that the rest of college was not nearly as easy to get laid as I thought after that experience. I I was trying to watch the movie Romancing the Stone and the girl I was dating at the time decides, unprompted, to give me a BJ right there in the living room. Who's gonna say no to that? I couldn't even tell you anything about the movie if I wanted to. Once I was invited for the 100th birthday of the grandpa of a friend of mine. I banged the cousin of my friend there. Apparently all the guests heard her. My fave though is another one, a pub/disco thing. I notice a girl looking at me, I approach, and for a very brief but awkward moment I said nothing. I was just looking at her eyes and then, lol, I said the dumbest shit ever that would have resulted in a slap in all the other possible scenarios. Wanna bang, trombiamo? In Italian. And the rest is history. I went to a karaoke club in a different city. It was very full, so I sat outside and had a smoke. A random girl walks up, asks for a lighter, then tells me that her friend has an architecture office around the corner and if I want to come. I did want to come, so I went. It would be really easy for me to get murdered, I guess. To become a real gangster, follow these easy steps. Smash the like button and comment on this video. Subscribe to the Reddit gang and activate the notification bell. Like our Facebook page. Follow us on Instagram.